Hello, we're Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile, and today we're reviewing the third chapter in the X Trilogy, Maxine.
I think they spelled it wrong.
And that's coming from a brat who doesn't know how to spell.
Maxine is a slasher movie, once again written and directed by Ty West. It is the third entry in his X series, following the prequel Pearl, but is a direct sequel to X.
AKA the Texas Porn Star Massacre.
The film stars the talented Mia Goth, who played final girl Maxine Minx in X, as well as the old version of Pearl under heavy makeup. She then played the younger version of Pearl in the prequel, a Technicolor throwback to the golden age of Hollywood.
It was like a Disney movie, only slightly more demented.
During the end credits of X, I was amazed that they already had a full trailer for the Pearl prequel that hit theaters only 6 months later. Then, at the end of Pearl was a teaser for Maxine, hinting at an 80s setting.
Every time I turn around, Ty West surprises me with another teaser.
When it comes to trilogies, the third one is usually the worst. Some of the most beloved franchises have fallen victim to the threequel curse. Godfather 3, Return of the Jedi, RoboCop 3, Home Alone 3, Spider-Man 3, Jurassic Park 3, X-Men 3, The Dark Knight Rises, and so on.
Like Andy's third personality.
So, let's see if Maxine becomes a star, or the next Black Dahlia. It's 1985, and right away, the movie establishes its Hollywood setting with a montage featuring Reagan, cocaine, satanic panic, news of the Night Stalker killings, and Dee Snider testifying before the Senate.
The only time the chamber saw the outline of someone's penis.
Adult film star Maxine Minx finally gets her big break, landing the lead role in The Puritan 2.
The Puritan 2.
The Puritan 2! Less luxury, less sexual enjoyment.
Maxine believes this could be her ticket to fame because a lot of actors started in horror.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, Johnny Depp, Leo, and even Kevin Bacon.
Yes, but more on Bacon later. Maxine then goes to work at her other job, a live peep show, where a mysterious figure wearing black gloves watches in anger.
So the killer has cold fingers.
It's a nod to slasher and Italian giallo movies of the time that often featured a serial killer wearing black gloves and wielding a knife. This mysterious Hollywood murderer stalks those close to Maxine, leaving a trail of blood that threatens to reveal her connections to the massacre in Texas. Even though it's kind of tired, I love the 80s setting. They captured the glitz, glamour, and grime of Hollywood.
Come see the Walk of Fame. Oh look, someone threw up on Bela Lugosi's star.
The sequel dives into Maxine's personal life, her struggles, and the scars that she carries.
That's a pretty bitchin' scar. How'd you get it?
It's a long story.
It'd take about an hour and 45 minutes.
It's okay. I fantasize about old women too.
The film fittingly ends underneath the Hollywood sign. It reminds us that Hollywood is a jungle where dreams are made and shattered.
Like what I did to that granny's pelvis.
Yeesh. It's violent, but most of the action and death comes during the film's messy climax.
And Maxine knows a thing or two about a messy climax.
Evil. Stop. The glaring issue is that the killer's identity is painfully predictable. It ruins all the suspense in this thriller. Also, the sloppy reveal didn't help.
It was sloppier than the lunch lady's sloppy Joe.
I made them extra sloppy for you.
Lady, you're scaring us.
The scope of this sequel is bigger than the others because it wasn't made during the pandemic.
We're off the farm and in Tinseltown. Yet, both of them smell like shit.
Maxine features an impressive ensemble cast that's full of colorful characters.
I think it was all the neon lights.
Mia Goth once again delivers a compelling performance. She's confident, fierce as hell, and doesn't care what anybody thinks.
Maxine fucking Minx.
So her initials are MFM?
If you know, you know.
Back in January, Mia Goth was sued by a background actor playing a corpse on the ground for allegedly kicking him in the head and then taunting him.
Mia, step on me! I want to be belittled!
Bummer. I expect this kind of behavior from her husband, but not her.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Elizabeth Debicki plays Elizabeth Bender, the British film director behind The Puritan 2. She's known for her intense methods and is tough on Maxine, but it's that pressure that turns Maxine into a diamond.
Maybe that's why Dr. Oddcoitus is so hard on Andy.
I'm pretty sure he's counseling Andy wrong. As a joke.
Moses Sumney plays Leon, a video store clerk and Maxine's close friend. You too can be like Leon and read all about Maxine in Fangoria magazine. Use our link in the description and promo code Stitch Together Pictures to get 20% off Fangoria magazines and merch. Giancarlo Esposito plays Teddy Knight, an agent for adult film stars and Z-list actors. He's a slimeball, but goes above and beyond for his client.
I also hear he has a great drug connection.
Michelle Monaghan and Bobby Cannavale play our good cop, bad cop detectives. They play against each other well and try their best to get Maxine to help them solve these satanic killings.
Could it be Satan?
Then there's Kevin Bacon, who sought out the role of the private investigator because he was a fan of the previous two movies. Bacon does a fine job of making me hate this henchman who is stalking Maxine, but the thick New Orleans accent was a little cartoonish.
He sounded like Foghorn Leghorn.
Maxine isn't afraid to show this PI that she's a badass. The Puritans' director tells Maxine that whatever is going on in her personal life, she needs to squash it. And she does.
She used a giant bacon press.
Maxine also features numerous callbacks to X and Pearl, plus Hollywood in general. There's a great scene that takes place in an alley where Maxine gets cornered by a guy with a knife.
Drop it! Buster.
She orders the Buster Keaton impersonator to undress, suck the barrel of her gun, and then she steps on his balls.
Lucky bastard!
The Hollywood star Maxine puts her cigarette out on is Theta Barras, Theta being the name of Pearl's alligator.
Theta!
When Molly Bennett talks to Maxine outside of her trailer, she says that actresses have to stick together, similar to what Mitzi says to Pearl.
Yeah, how'd that turn out for them?
Maxine keeps cocaine in a duck cookie jar, which has to be a nod to Mr. Deuce, Pearl's duck.
Thanks it, Pearl. Stop killing everything.
Pearl was denied her big break because they were looking for a blonde. And here, Maxine has dyed her hair blonde. After all, blondes have more fun.
being the suspect of a mass murder.
During the life cast scene, the dead people props in the background are references to the kills in X. There was even a rubber gator in the room, but Ty West felt it was a little too obvious and framed it out.
That poor rubber gator. He told all his friends he was in the movie.
Because Maxine is shooting a movie on the Universal backlot, there's a chase sequence involving the clock tower from Back to the Future and the Bates Motel.
Another movie where the killer is dressed like an old woman.
These are just some of the Easter eggs I noticed, and I look forward to watching it again to find some more. Of the three movies, Maxine had the highest opening weekend with $6.7 million. The filmmakers took an old-school approach to shooting Maxine to capture that VHS era. They made the movie by using old camera equipment, and the effects were practical. The 80s was the decade of excess, and they crushed it.
Once again, apologies to Mr. Bacon.
Cinematographer Elliot Rocket has worked with Ty West before. From the big hair, neon lights, smoke, soundtrack, and split screens, the film does a fantastic job of capturing an 80s look that isn't turned up to 11.
Please, this has nothing on Hot Tub Time Machine.
Tyler Bates returns to compose the score, but what stands out is the killer soundtrack, full of popular songs from the 80s.
Yeah, it and every other movie.
The film opens with a quote from Betty Davis, and also ends with the Kim Carnes song, Betty Davis Eyes.
She got Betty Davis eyes.
A thyroid condition that pushes the eyeballs forward.
And she'll tease you, she'll undress you, all the better just to suck you.
Maxine falls into the style over substance category. It isn't scary, it's a little uneven, and the twist is obvious. The plot takes a back seat to pay homage to 80s Hollywood. The individual scenes are great, but disjointed.
Like a dismembered porn star in some luggage.
Otherwise, the film has a lot going for it, like the atmosphere, kills, cinematography, soundtrack, and performances. Mia Goth once again proves she's a talented actor in the horror genre. It shows that any outsider can achieve their dreams if they don't give up.
That, and she'll take off her shirt.
I can handle myself.
So said every dead girl in Hollywood.
How could they say that when they're dead?
So, would I recommend Maxine? Yeah, I become a fan of Ty West, and if this is the final film in the X series, then this has been a great horror trilogy. You can watch each movie independently without seeing the others. They're standalone, yet complement each other. Who knows if we'll get a fourth entry, but, like Maxine says, I never want it to end. We've been Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile.
Thanks for liking and subscribing.
Now ring the bell and watch another damn video.